Starting a goat farming operation can be an exciting and profitable venture, but one of the most common questions beginners ask is, how many goats do I need to get started? The answer depends on a variety of factors, including your goals, resources, experience level, and market demand in your area. This guide will walk you through the essential considerations and help you determine the optimal starting number for a successful goat farming operation. Defining your goals for goat farming. Before deciding on the number of goats, it's important to clarify your goals. Are you interested in producing meat, milk, fiber, or perhaps breeding stock? Each type of goat farming has different requirements and considerations, so understanding what you want to achieve is key to setting up a successful business. Meat production. If your goal is to produce goat meat, you'll likely be looking for meat goat breeds such as boar or Kiko goats, known for their size and growth rate. Generally, meat goat farms benefit from larger herds to maintain a steady supply for market demands. Dairy production. For dairy production, dairy breeds like Nubians, Alpines, and Sannans are ideal. You'll need fewer goats to start with, especially if you are new to goat milking or dairy management. Fiber production. Angora and Kashmir goats produce valuable fibers, but fiber farming requires fewer animals initially, as each goat yields enough fiber annually for small-scale production. Breeding and selling. If your goal is to breed and sell goats, you'll need a quality breeding pair or small herd with excellent genetics. Breeding can be a profitable venture if you specialize in high-quality stock, especially for specific breeds or traits. 2. Evaluating your resources. Your farm's resources, such as land, infrastructure, and budget, play a big role in determining how many goats you can realistically support. Land requirements. Goats need space to graze and roam, which is essential for their health and to reduce feed costs. A common rule is to allow 0.25 to 0.5 acres per goat for rotational grazing. This can vary depending on the quality of the pasture and your grazing management practices. Smaller herds are recommended if you're limited on land. Shelter and fencing. Goats require shelter to protect them from harsh weather, as well as secure fencing, as goats are known to be escape artists. The cost and capacity of your shelter will influence the number of goats you can start with. Budget. Costs associated with purchasing goats, building shelters, and providing feed and veterinary care will all impact your starting herd size. Budgeting for initial costs and a few months of feed expenses will help you avoid financial strain as your farm gets established. 3. Starting small with a test herd. For new farmers, it's advisable to start small and gain experience before scaling up. A manageable number of goats, such as 2 to 10, allows you to learn about daily care, health issues, breeding, and the market for your products without overwhelming yourself. This smaller herd size lets you grow your skills, reduce risks, and gradually build confidence in managing larger numbers. Test herd size by goal. Meat production. 5 to 10 goats, dairy production. 2 to 5 milking does, fiber production. 3 to 5 fiber-producing goats, a breeding program. 1 to 2 bucks, and 3 to 5 does. A smaller test herd also allows you to assess the demand in your local market, gauge how much feed and resources are required, and determine whether goat farming is sustainable for you long-term. 4. Understanding goat reproduction and growth rates. The reproductive rate of goats is another factor to consider, especially if you plan to grow your herd over time. Knowing how quickly goats reproduce and mature will help you plan your farm's expansion. Breeding cycle. Goats reach sexual maturity around 6 to 8 months, though it's best to wait until does are about a year old before breeding them. Most goats have a gestation period of about 150 days, and many breeds can produce 1 or 2 kids per birthing cycle, while some may even have twins or triplets. Breeding plan. If you're starting with just a few does and a buck, you can expand your herd relatively quickly. For instance, starting with 3 does and 1 buck can lead to 6 to 12 kids within a year. Over time, this can create a sustainable cycle of replacements and herd growth. Selling kids or expanding herd. Depending on your market, you may choose to sell kids as part of a profit strategy or retain some to grow your herd. Planning for these decisions in advance will help you manage resources effectively. Estimating costs per goat and profit potential. Understanding the costs and profits associated with each goat is crucial for successful farm management. Here are key expenses and expected returns. A. Initial and recurring costs. Initial purchase. The cost per goat can vary significantly depending on breed and quality. Expect to pay anywhere from $100 to $300 per goat, with registered or high-quality breeding stock costing more. Feed and grazing costs. Goats can often graze on pasture, which is a cost-effective option, but supplemental feed is necessary during certain times of year or when pastures are less nutritious. Budget about $10 to $20 per goat per month for feed. Shelter and fencing. Goats need sturdy, weatherproof shelters and secure fencing. Building shelter can cost anywhere from $200 to $500, depending on your farm setup and DIY capabilities. Veterinary care. Goats need vaccinations, deworming, and periodic health checks. Plan on spending $10 to $30 per goat per year on veterinary care. B. Profit potential by goal. Meat production. Meat goats can be sold for $100 to $300 per head, depending on the market. If you raise kids to sell, each sale can provide a substantial return. Dairy production. Each dairy goat can produce 1 to 2 gallons of milk per day, which can be sold as raw milk, where legal, cheese, or yogurt. The potential revenue from a single dairy goat can exceed $1,000 annually. Fiber production. Goat fiber, like cashmere and mohair, is a niche market, but demand can lead to high returns, especially for quality fiber. 6. Tips for growing and managing a profitable goat herd. Once your herd is established, efficient management practices can help you maximize profits. Optimize breeding cycles. Aim to breed your does in sync to have kids born during spring when pasture quality is highest. This minimizes feed costs and supports healthy kid growth. Health and wellness. Healthy goats are more productive and require less medical care. Invest in a regular deworming program, provide mineral supplements, and keep shelters clean. Minimize feed costs with grazing. Using rotational grazing practices can help reduce feed costs and improve soil health. Pasture-based systems are more sustainable and cost-effective. 7. Assessing market demand and opportunities. Researching market demand is essential to understanding how many goats you can sell and at what price. Check local livestock markets, butcheries, dairy processors, and online platforms to gauge pricing. Local markets. Some regions have high demand for goat meat, particularly near urban centers with diverse populations. Goat dairy products and fiber are also popular in niche markets. Value-added products. Consider making value-added products like goat milk soap, cheese, or fiber products. These can be sold at local farmers markets or online, potentially increasing your per-goat profit significantly. 8. Expanding your herd wisely. Once you've gained experience, you can consider expanding your herd size based on your success and available resources. Scale gradually. Start by increasing your herd in small increments. Add 5 to 10 goats annually based on demand and resources. Budget for expansion. As your herd grows, so do costs. Plan ahead for increased feed, shelter, and veterinary needs. Keep quality high. As you expand, continue to focus on quality genetics and herd health. A healthy, productive herd is more profitable than a large, unmanaged herd. By starting small, choosing the right breed, and investing in efficient management practices, you can build a productive and sustainable goat farming business. Whether you're looking to provide meat, milk, fiber, or breeding stock, carefully considering these factors will set you on the path to success in goat farming.